So if this were to be our last conversation, what is something you never want me to get? And I don't know why I'm crying.
If this was our last conversation.
Our last conversation. If this were to be our last conversation, what is something you would never want me to forget?
I would want you to know that I loved you with my whole heart. That with you, for the first time in my life, I did everything right. I forgave when I didn't want to. I loved you when you were unlovable. I liked you when you were unlikable. I stayed when I wanted to leave. And I just did everything I knew to be right.
I appreciate
it. Describe the moment you realized I was in love with you.
I realized it when you used
I knew you was gonna say that.
You don't even know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I bet it's not what you think. I realized it when we used to share so much time talking, and we used the poetry a lot to express what we were feeling, and I realized it then. But when you got on, when you came to see me that day, I really realized, okay, she's serious, because that was a big step to do that.
That was.
So yeah.
You could have catfished me.
I could have. Well, the catfish, you kidnapped you. Could have did a lot of things.
You could have killed me.
But yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
When have you seen me the most vulnerable, and what did it teach you about me?
When I saw you the most vulnerable was when you moved down here and you weren't talking to your kids because they were upset. And you were finding out about all of the stuff that you hadn't really processed in your childhood. And it was just all like flooding
out.
And I think every like couple of days and weeks, you would have a moment when you would just like melt down.
Yeah.
Because you had never been in such a vulnerable state in your life. You had always been in contact with your family, with your kids.
Been in control of
Full
control of me, myself, and my situation.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot.
And I kept telling you to trust the process.
Yeah.
And that things would work out. Yeah. And they did.
They did. They have.
Because now they're tentatively slated to come for Thanksgiving this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a vulnerable time. Not just about the kids, but definitely that was a component, but it was just everything, you know. But it was good. It don't kill you. It'll make you stronger. So I'm packing some muscle. So. If you had to start over our relationship, what would you do differently?
I would have, when you came to Atlanta to visit that time, I would have sent you back home and allowed you to really get clear about what it is that you wanted. That's rather than trying to, you know, make you ready before you were really ready.
Yeah. I think if I had to do over, I would have taken the time to listen to the things you've said prior to, and stepping into it then, you know, and really thinking about what that meant for me and if I was ready before I even, you know, came in with one foot and always still figuring out and thinking about it. You know, that's one of my biggest, if not my biggest regret. I know those things hurt, you know, and although you've moved through them, I know they still, you know, have a little healing to do. So that is what I'm actively in this space, wanting and continuing to do, you know. I know that's the work. Yeah. I know.
When do you feel closest to me?
In those vulnerable moments where we share and we have breakthroughs and where I'm allowed to just flood, you know.
That's when I think you're the sexiest too.
Is that so?
That's so.
Something to consider. What do I understand about you that nobody else does?
You understand that I am complicated, that I'm really intense, but I'm extremely sensitive, that I'm extremely ambitious, but I'm extremely vulnerable. You understand that I love people really hard, and I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You understand that I want the best for everyone.
And I'll add to that, I understand that. A lot of the experiences we've had has been the pain, you know, of just wanting those things. And it may present one way, but I know it's just from a love. You know?
Yeah.
But I will still say that even with all that I do understand, and I think I understand more than most, that it's still more that I'm learning every day.
Yeah. Why do you love me?
I've never come across someone who loves so freely, you know, and who wants love so much, and who's willing to give so much of yourself and your love to those you care about, even to strangers. And I loved you for that. I love you because you were just such a freeness about you, you know, and a giving and just just this awareness, you know, awareness about people, you know, and it's just been very amazing to watch you over the years grow and see you love. So I continue to love you and relearn to love you and love you more than the last time. So.
Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Hey, so if that video moved you, if you dug it, if you want to see more of them, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so we can keep you updated about our weekly releases. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining.